You are currently being hunted by the one person you trust most. He is whispering in your ear right now, telling you that you aren't ready, that you need more data, that one more book or one more podcast will finally unlock the door to the life you deserve. He is lying to you. Look at your hands. Are they moving? Are they building? Or are they shaking under the weight of 1,000 unexecuted ideas? Your brain is not your greatest asset. It is a sophisticated distraction mechanism designed to keep you safe, keep you small, and keep you exactly where you are. You think your intelligence is your edge, but in reality, your intellect is the cage that prevents your spirit from winning. We have been taught to worship thought, to venerate the philosopher, and to prize the strategist. But look around. The world is filled with brilliant failures sitting in coffee shops explaining why the economy isn't right for their grand vision. Meanwhile, the man who decided to stop thinking and start moving is already miles ahead of you, breathing the air of a summit you only dream of. You are suffocating in the noise of your own potential. Every time you weigh your options, you are actually mourning your courage. Every time you wait for clarity, you are giving your fear a seat at the table. Success is not a math problem to be solved, it is a physical territory to be conquered. And you cannot conquer anything while you are busy debating the logistics of the first step. It is time to retire your brain. It is time to demote your mind from the role of CEO to the role of a silent clerk. You have spent years feeding the monster of overanalysis, and it has grown so large that it now blocks the exit. Do you feel that tightness in your chest? That is the friction between the person you were and the person you were meant to be. That friction is caused by too much thought and too little motion. We are going to kill the thinker today. We are going to resurrect the doer. Imagine a man. Let's call him the architect of shadows. He has the most perfect blueprints the world has ever seen. He understands the physics of weight-bearing walls, the aesthetics of light, and the economics of urban development better than anyone alive. He spends 14 hours a day refining the curves of his windows and the thickness of his foundations. He is, by all accounts, a genius. But if you walk to the plot of land where his masterpiece should stand, all you find is dirt and weeds. He has never laid a single brick. He is waiting. He is waiting for the perfect weather, the perfect interest rate, and the perfect sense of knowing that today is the day. Now look at the man next door. He doesn't know a thing about architecture. He has a pile of mismatched stones and a shovel. He started digging the moment he bought the land. His walls are crooked, his roof leaks, and he's made 1,000 mistakes. But he has a house. He has shelter. He has a reality. You are the architect of shadows. You are currently obsessed with the how, because you are terrified of the is. You think that by anticipating every possible failure, you can avoid the pain of being wrong. But there is a deeper pain you haven't accounted for. The pain of being nothing. Nature does not think. The wolf does not contemplate the ethics of the hunt or the probability of the kill, it simply feels the hunger and closes the distance. The river does not analyze the rocks in its path, it moves, and in its movement, it finds the way around them. You are the only creature on this planet that tries to think its way out of its destiny. You have mistaken your internal monologue for wisdom. It isn't wisdom, it's a defense mechanism. Your brain knows that if you actually start, you might fail. It knows that if you commit, you might be judged. So it keeps you in the planning phase, where you are safe, where you are still a visionary, and where you never have to face the brutal reality of your own limitations. But here is the truth that will burn. A flawed action taken today is worth more than a perfect plan intended for tomorrow. The universe does not reward the smartest person in the room. It rewards the person who refuses to leave the room until the job is done. Your mind is a noisy, crowded marketplace of doubts, memories, and projections. You have been living there far too long. It's time to move into the silence of the act. The philosophers of the past understood something you have forgotten. They knew that the mind is a wild horse. If you don't break it, it will break you. They didn't spend their lives sitting in ivory towers debating the meaning of life. They practiced the art of being unshakable in the face of chaos. They knew that your thoughts are not you. They are merely weather patterns passing through the sky of your consciousness. When you say, "I'm not ready," you are treating a passing cloud as if it were the sun. You have become a slave to your own mental fluctuations. If you feel motivated, you work. If you feel anxious, you retreat. You are a leaf in the wind of your own emotions. Success, real success, the kind that builds empires and changes bloodlines, requires you to be the wind, not the leaf. This requires a fundamental identity shift. You must move from being a person who thinks to a system that executes. Think about the most successful people you admire. You assume they have some secret knowledge or some superhuman level of confidence. They don't. What they have is a retired brain. They have reached a point where the gap between idea and action is zero. They don't give their brain enough time to manufacture a reason to stop. They operate on trained instinct. While you are still drafting your first email, they have already finished their 10th meeting. While you are researching the best workout routine, they are finishing their final set. They have realized that the perfect time is a ghost that will never appear. The only time that exists is now, and the only tool that matters is your will. You have been trying to solve your life using logic, but life is not logical. It is biological. It responds to pressure, to heat, and to persistence. Your brain wants to keep you cool and comfortable. Wealth, power, and mastery are found in the heat. You must be willing to be the fool who acts while the wise men are still debating. You must be willing to look stupid, to fail publicly, and to move forward when every nerve in your body is screaming for you to stop and think it over. That scream is the sound of your old self dying. Let it scream. The trap you've fallen into is the illusion of preparation. We live in an era where information is infinite, and we have mistaken consumption for progress. You watch the videos, you read the threads, you highlight the books, and you feel a sense of accomplishment. You get a dopamine hit from the idea of success without ever having to endure the friction of it. This is mental masturbation. It feels good, but it produces nothing. Your brain loves this cycle because it gets to feel productive while remaining perfectly safe. It's a simulation of winning that keeps you from actually competing. To retire your brain means to cut off the supply of useless information. It means realizing that you already know enough. You knew enough 3 years ago. The problem isn't a lack of knowledge, it's a surplus of hesitation. You are like a soldier who spends all his time cleaning his rifle but never enters the battle. The rifle is clean, yes, but the war is being lost. You need to get your rifle dirty. You need to get your soul dirty. You need to step into the arena and realize that the monsters you've been imagining in your head are nothing compared to the strength you find when you finally stop thinking and start hitting. Every great achievement in human history was preceded by a moment of irrationality. It was irrational for a man to think he could fly. It was irrational to think we could put a man on the moon. If those people had listened to their logical brains, they would have stayed on the ground. Logic is a tool for maintenance, not for breakthroughs. Logic tells you why things can't be done. Instinct tells you to do them anyway. You have over-optimized your life for safety, and in doing so, you have optimized it for mediocrity. The elite operate in the realm of the unreasonable. They make unreasonable demands of themselves, they set unreasonable goals, and they move with unreasonable speed. They have retired the part of the brain that asks, "Is this possible?" and replaced it with the part of the soul that says, "This is happening." You are currently at a crossroads. One path leads back to the comfort of your thoughts, your plans, and your eventual regrets. The other path leads into the dark, into the unknown, and into the raw, unscripted reality of action. You don't need another sign. You don't need another explanation. You need to move. Stop searching for the secret. There is no secret. There is only the work, and the work is often boring, repetitive, and devoid of immediate reward. Your brain hates this. It craves novelty. It wants a new strategy, a new hack, a new angle. This is why you jump from one thing to another, never seeing anything through to its conclusion. You are addicted to the beginning of things because the beginning is where the thoughts are most exciting. But wealth is built in the middle. Wealth is built in the boring phase where the thinking is done and only the execution remains. To win, you must become comfortable with the silence of the mind. You must learn to work when there is no inspiration, to move when there is no clarity, and to trust the system you've built over the doubts you feel. This is the Stoic ideal, to be the master of your internal state regardless of the external noise. Your brain will tell you that you're tired. Move anyway. It will tell you that this won't work. Move anyway. It will tell you that people are laughing at you. Move anyway. Eventually, the brain realizes it is no longer in charge. It stops screaming and starts following. That is the moment of retirement. That is when you become a professional. A professional doesn't wait for the vibe to be right. A professional operates like a machine, cold, efficient, and unstoppable. You have been an amateur your whole life, letting your thoughts dictate your actions. It's time to reverse the hierarchy. Your actions must now dictate your thoughts. If you act like a king, your mind will eventually stop questioning your crown. If you work like a titan, your mind will stop seeing you as a peasant. You create your identity through the physical movement of your body in space, not through the silent pondering of your mind in a chair. The world is a mirror. It doesn't reflect what you want, it reflects what you are doing. If you are doing nothing but thinking, the world will give you nothing but more thoughts. If you are building, the world will give you a kingdom. Retire the architect, hire the builder, silence the critic, empower the conqueror. This is the only way out of the maze. The exit isn't found by mapping the walls, it's found by running until you hit the light. When you look at the stars, you don't see them debating whether or not to shine. When you watch a predator in the wild, you don't see it questioning its right to exist. They simply are. They fulfill their function without the interference of a self-sabotaging ego. You are the only part of the universe that is currently arguing with itself. You have split yourself into two, the one who wants to succeed and the one who prevents it through careful consideration. This internal war is draining your battery. It is the reason you feel exhausted even when you haven't done anything. You are tired from the mental gymnastics of justifying your own stagnation. Imagine what you could achieve if all that energy spent on doubting, planning, and worrying was channeled into a single, focused direction. You would be a force of nature. You would be a landslide. A landslide doesn't ask the trees for permission to move. It doesn't wonder if it's moving too fast or if it looks professional enough. It is a singular, unified event. You must become a singular event. This requires you to kill the second-guessing version of yourself. You must develop a wealth identity that is rooted in the physical reality of your bank account and your output, not in the theoretical reality of your potential. Potential is a polite word for hasn't done it yet. It is a participation trophy for the mind. Throw it away. You don't want potential, you want results. And results are the byproduct of a brain that has been put out to pasture. You are entering a phase of intellectual fasting. You are going to stop consuming the opinions of others. You are going to stop seeking validation for your ideas. You are going to stop asking, what if? And start saying, watch this. The time for understanding is over. The time for happening has begun. You are not a student of life, you are a participant in it. The classroom is closed, the field is open, the whistle has blown, and you are still standing on the sidelines, looking at the playbook. Drop the book, step onto the grass, feel the friction, embrace the mess. The truth about thinking too much is that it is a slow-motion suicide of the soul. Every thought you have that doesn't lead to an action is a brick in the wall of your own prison. Break the wall, retire the brain, win the war, continue to the next lesson. This is where disciplined minds are built. Execute.